I've tried to make melee Vortex builds in the past on numerous occasions, and while they did work, it always felt rather suboptimal, like there was a much better option there. But then one day I spotted this comment right here from Chaos Gyro, which pointed out that the easiest way to get melee Vortex going is to simply use the Magnetic Rush mod, which provides magnetic damage plus a little bit of attack speed as well. This actually highlights a bit of a problem that I sometimes struggle with, because I've been playing the game for so long, it's sometimes difficult to adjust to new things. Because for 12 years, in order to use magnetic, you would have to give up electricity and cold damage. Because, well, that's what makes up magnetic damage, right? Well, no, actually, not anymore. So I decided to give Vortex another try, and the weapon I landed on was the Rakta Dark Dagger, specifically because it comes with radiation damage. Because I didn't just want to do a Vortex build, I wanted to do a Rainbow Vortex build. And the Rakta Dark Dagger, with its relatively even damage distribution between Radiation Puncture and Slash and high status, seemed pretty good for it. Now, one of the reasons I'm able to do such nonsense on a somewhat regular basis is Jake the Starchild, who continuously feeds me platinum to feed my madness. So once again, thank you very much, Jake. If, by the way, you want to do this yourself, you're either gonna have to get Exalted with the Red Veil, or you're gonna have to buy it from someone else, because the Rakta Dark Dagger is a syndicate weapon aligned to the Red Veil. But anyway, I think that's enough blabbering, so let's give it a shot, shall we? This is actually a superb trait, unless you're using like Inaros or Nidus, because this allows you to leech shields and overshields from enemies, which is quite strong. I don't mind using Homing Fang, it's actually quite a fun stance. I want to go Rainbow, and this Okondi Overload is a no-brainer because Rainbow builds are essentially primers that actually do damage. I keep forgetting about this mod, but honestly, for 7 capacity, 60 magnetic and 20 attack speed is good. I only have it at rank 3, but wait, I can upgrade it. So rank 4, which is a 40% chance to pull enemies in. The effect is kind of similar to Larva from Nidus. So we already have Radiation and Magnetic. The next color in our rainbow is going to be Corrosive. Get that in there, lovely. And to top it off, Blast. So we get Corrosive, Radiation, Magnetic, and Blast. Ton of extra status from Weeping Wounds, and to top it all off, I want to run Primed Reach. Let's give it a testorino. If this doesn't work, I'm going to be very sad. Oh, there's a suck. It's quite an aggressive suck, isn't it? What a spectacular setup. Suck them in with mag, strip them with corrosive, blow them up with blast, and then you have radiation, because why not? And it all happens automatically. Vida from Harold should help a ton here. Ho 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 ho. Baby, that's good stuff. That is good stuff. This is so delightfully chaotic. The clear on this is so fantastic. It is much better than I had expected. Oh, here comes the suck. It stacks the enemies so reliably. It's crazy. But the single target is a little bit weaker, so I feel like we do need to squeeze in Tennokai. I hate Mania. Such an annoying acolyte. The infuriating thing here is that the damage would actually be nice if I could hit it reliably. I'm definitely leaning towards Opportunity's Reach here. Daggers have really high follow-through. Let's flip the dash into a V. In you go, buddy boy. Now, I do like Discipline's Merit as well. It makes it really reliable and it makes it feel good, right? Because every 4th hit, you trigger Tennokai. But in this case, I think Opportunity's Reach wins because it gives you so much more range. We're at 7.75 meters, which is insane with 90% follow-through, especially because we're stacking the enemies with Vortex. I don't think you have any idea how happy I am that I finally have a melee setup where melee Vortex doesn't feel like an obviously incorrect arcane. Because the previous attempts that I had made were always just like, well, this is cool, but if I took out the cold and just kept electricity, I could do influence and it would be way better. I'm not so sure that's the case here. Yes, influence would be good, but you know, influence is good on any weapon that has like some amount of status chance, but it wouldn't be overwhelmingly better. Man, I'm very much enjoying the agility of Homing Fang. Such a fun stance. I love zooming around like this. I do wonder if perhaps gas and electricity would be a better choice here, because not only would we get an additional mod slot that we could fill in with, well, I guess Elementalist, but it would also make a lot of sense because you would like attack the enemies, you would proc a bunch of gas clouds, and then as Vortex triggers, it drags the enemy into an already established field of gas. Let's take that out for now, just to try it out. So something like this, I guess. Oh yeah, this is definitely the way to go. If you have proper armor strips somewhere, like if you're using Scarab Swarm or you have a pet that strips armor, this is the way to go. This is definitely the better of the two setups, but it's not as versatile, it's not as well-rounded. The benefit of a rainbow build is that you have a tool for every situation, right? You have a little bit of everything, so you have corrosion for armor, and then magnetic for shields and overguard, and radiation for crowd control, and then blast for actual damage. With this, I mean, it can do more damage. The potential here is better if you can provide armor strip in some way, shape or form. So while I very much prefer the rainbow build, I'm gonna say that both are good. It just kind of depends on the situation you find yourself in and also what the rest of your setup looks like. So here is the final Vortex setup for the Rakta Dark Dagger. For the stance we have Homing Fang, which matches the polarity and is a really fun stance, so you don't necessarily have to switch to something else. Then for our Tennokai trigger, we have Opportunities Reach. This is a really good one here because it gives you a longer Tennokai window, but it also adds 3 extra meters to your Tennokai attack range, so your Tennokai attacks have 7.75 meters of range. This is good because daggers have very high follow-through, so you retain most of your damage as you cleave through multiple enemies, and it synergizes really well with our Arcane. For the mods, we run Condition Overload for base damage, Magnetic Rush for magnetic damage and attack speed, Voltaic Strike and Virulent Scourge for corrosive, Vicious Frost and Volcanic Edge for blast, then we have Primed Reach for more range, and we top it off with Weeping Wounds for status chance. Alternatively, instead of going corrosive and blast with your dual stat mods, you can swap them around and run gas and electricity, and then the remaining mod slot is going to be occupied by Galvanized Elementalist. The Arcane this time around is the almighty melee Vortex, which gives you up to a 45% chance to trigger a larva-like vortex that will group enemies together when you kill an enemy that's affected by the magnetic status effect. So as you're killing enemies, you will constantly trigger more and more vortexes that will group enemies together for you to explode with blast damage and to also cleave through with that high follow-through, as well as a ton of range from primed and Opportunities Reach. Now pretty much every setup can benefit from a little bit of extra priming, so of course you want to get a nice priming pet. I'm using a Hound, Good Boy Harold, that primes Cold, Vital, Impact, Puncture, Radiation, Heat and Magnetic. This doesn't have as much of an effect as it does on some other setups because we're already proccing most of these effects with Dagger itself, but it still helps, especially the Viral. I am extraordinarily happy that I finally have a fun and functional Vortex setup. And it's all because of you guys. This build wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that comment. This is why I encourage you to leave your suggestions in the comment section down below, because together we can come up with much better stuff. So yes, definitely give this a shot. It's a little bit different, you know, than perhaps your standard melee builds, but damn, it's fun as hell. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time, bye bye.